Today on iPod 70, Hawaii Kona and Hawaii Kona. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to another coffee tasting video. If it's your first time here, I'm your host Sterling Miller. We are an Nespresso-centric channel. We review the original line and the Vertuo line of Nespresso. If that interests you, you have found the right channel. For my returning Podhead family, any and all announcements will be at the end. But without further ado, let's get to today's star attraction. It is a re-review of a 2020 release, but we got both lines this time, original and the Vertuo line. We're gonna put them head to head, see which one is better, if there is a better one. So let's take a look at what they have to say. Hawaii Kona, we're gonna start off with the Vertuo line first. The aromatic profile. Special Reserve Hawaii Kona delights with tropical and exotic fruit notes and fine citric acidity, all combined with nutty cereal finish for a well-balanced cup. They're saying here roastiness 3, acidity 3, bitterness 2, body 3, and a 6 out of 11 for intensity, and it is just a straight espresso shot. Skipping over to the original line, the aromatic profile. Looks like we got exactly the same thing. They call it a well-balanced cup, probably more of a shot than a cup. Roastiness 2, so a little less, acidity 3, bitterness 2, body 2, so it is a little different on the original line. 5 out of 13, which those may equate to about the same levels. And then it's an espresso shot, 1.35 ounces. So let's take a look at the pod. Let's look at the Vertuo line first. And then the original line that has the limited edition opening package. So looking at these two, they both have kind of an arrow pattern of lines on them. So we'll take a look at the Vertuo first. There's your pod. It just kind of has that, just almost like lines, but they're made out of kind of arrows. Kind of a neat, almost like a gray-blue color. It is labeled on the bottom. Moving on to the original line, same type of pattern, same basic type of pattern, same basic color, only slightly more muted and not as shiny, and absolutely nothing on the bottom. Exotic fruit notes, fine acidity, and a nutty cereal finish. Hawaii Kona for the Vertuo and original line. Let's go brew a shot. For round one, I'm gonna brew these both. I'm gonna do the high speed on both of them. We're gonna put them into the exact same glassware, and that way we can maybe see, is there a difference in crema and how they look? So let's get these guys going. They both smelled pretty good, not overly strong, but as you could see, we were watching them ourselves, and this one looked more like just coffee in a cup. This one looked like all crema. That whole entire cup was practically crema. So let me see, judging color-wise, they're about identical. Ooh, this one, the original line, has a slightly sharper smell to it. This one has like a slightly softer smell, if that. They both kind of have a little bit of a fruit flavor or fruit smell to them. This one's soft and this one has like a little bit of a sharp note to it. So let's go give them a taste. We'll start with the original line first, so let's give it a taste. That seems like the Hawaii Kona from last year. Just a nice fruit flavor, just that little bit of bitter coming past. Pretty good. Let's give the Vertuo line a taste. Wow. These two are very different. This one definitely has more, wow, it's got more lingering acidity to it. The fruit notes are dramatically brighter. This one you really, like, your very first, it's a lot of fruit notes. This one's just more subdued. It feels like these two are just very, very different in taste. This one seems to me like, oh man, what are the words? I just had to look really quick at how they described it. The exotic fruit notes, I don't know if exotic. It tastes like fruit notes. It's very, very bright, and there's a lot of fruit notes here. The difference is their ending statement where they say citric acidity and then a nutty finish for a well balance. That more describes this. This is more hit with bright notes, leave with kind of an acidic bite, nutty cereal. Let me see if I can even detect that. Not to speak of. Although on the counter, I would say you can taste a little bit of the, I don't know if I would say it's nutty cereal. You can taste a little bit of almost like a bread or a biscuit or a cereal type note with this one as a finish, because this one overall is very, very smooth. This one's, it's a little bit jarring. This one's a little bit bright for me. This one, again, seems very, very familiar from last year. I really enjoyed the Hawaii Kona from last year. This one seems like it wants to be this, but isn't, and I don't know why this is so different, because they're supposed to be the same. But these two, totally different coffees. Interesting. Kind of makes me wonder what, let's try, let's go forward. Let's try both with a little bit of milk. See how maybe it pairs down. Let's see how they play out. I think I'm gonna add just a little bit of sweetener to accentuate some of those notes. But yeah, let's go round two. Let's go brew another shot. Okay, so for round two, I'm gonna get both of these brewed, and so we'll get these going. And then in each one, what I'm gonna actually do is 2 ounces of milk or 59 milliliters. And I'm gonna do both of them the same. I'm gonna put them into the Aracino. And I decided on just a single, in fact, I think what I'm gonna do is a half pump. Just a little bit of sweetener in both. So we're gonna do that same thing for both. We're gonna use the standard frothing on both. So let's get these guys going. It's always so pretty to do that. Ooh, yeah. Just a little bit of milk on top. Hey, there isn't even anything on the floor this week. 1 down, 1 to go. Right, again, we'll start with the original line. Now the Vertuo. Little bit of a quandary when, so with the milk, 2 ounces of milk and a little bit of sweetener, interesting. So that mellowness that I really liked, the softer taste, way this came through as an espresso, it falls short a little bit with the milk. What I kind of didn't like about this one, that acidic bite, how bright it was, well now, this cuts through the milk and presents itself better. So with the milk, the Vertuo line actually has a nice fruit note with a nice cereal finish. The original has a very light cereal note, or excuse me, light fruit note, and virtually nothing to speak of for cereal. That's interesting how much they change between. Yeah, not what I expected was going to happen. Both are good, but let's take a look at what they're doing here. I had to look it up because, again, for some reason, it's showing a zero cost. We have tropical and exotic. Sure. Fruity and nutty. Fruity, definitely. These are $15 a sleeve or $1.50 a pod. They talk about tropical and exotic again, fruity and nutty. These are $12.50 a sleeve or $1.25 a pod. So where does that leave these? These are gonna be actually a split on this, and it's gonna be interesting to see kind of how this rating goes, because I feel like this one, as an espresso, is a good, solid 4 out of 5 pods. This, as an espresso, it's really, really bright, and it's got some afterbite that it's okay. I would give it a solid 3, maybe almost the 4. Once we get into adding milk into it though, then this, for me, everything flip-flops. This is a 3, and this becomes a solid 4. So I guess depending how you drink this, you might end up with a different outcome. So I would say if you have both machines and you normally drink just espresso, I'd probably stay with the original line. If you have both machines and you typically brew your espresso and have a little bit of milk with it, the Vertuo line definitely stands that little notch above. Well, that was a different outcome. I wasn't quite expecting that. Kind of interesting to see how two coffees labeled the same, theoretically are the same, come out so different. That'll bring us to a close of this week's video. I thank you so much for your time. If you've made it this far into the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you're alerted anytime we drop a new video, which is every Friday. Hopefully next week we're going to be taking a look at some podhead Halloween stuff. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see who all submits stuff, or if we get submissions. If we don't, we're gonna take that $50 gift card and we're gonna roll it into the next contest. And speaking of the next contest, if you haven't picked up your Podhead merchandise, you have a chance now to pick up Podhead merchandise that will be part of the next contest. So make sure you head on over there. If you're a Patreon supporter, look down in the links. You'll find your discount there for your merchandise. But get ready, we are going to do another Podhead merchandise contest for you guys coming up in the month of December. Obviously, it will be Christmas themed. Speaking of Podhead merchandising, I would love to get your feedback. Do you want the name Podhead down at the bottom? Do you want the channel logo? Things like that. What would you like to see on the next iteration of merchandise and stuff available for you guys? Let me know down below. Also, starting next week, we will start reviewing and probably doing a double feature of the Forest series. We have 3 brand new coffees from Nespresso, all starting with the word forest. So we'll see how those play out. Look forward to that next week. Next week also, the Patreon drawing for October. That'll be for a $30 gift card. And also potentially next week, the videos for the Halloween Podhead contest will be going. So I look forward to next week. It's gonna be jam-packed with stuff. I can't wait. I look forward to seeing you all here. How do we make so much of what we do here possible? It's from these wonderful people that you see here on the side. They are my patrons. They support this channel month in and month out, and without them, again, much of what we do here just wouldn't be possible. They make so much of what we do possible, And I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. You have helped this channel more than you probably will ever know. And I appreciate you guys all. If you would like to be one of those amazing people, a patron, please join us over at patreon.com/IPON70, and you too can get a discount on the Podhead merchandise and receive the videos a few days early and commercial free. Until next Friday with another coffee video, have a great rest of your day.